For my question of the day, I'm sticking with my man Elon Musk. I really enjoyed his talk at Davos and found what he said on humanoid robots quite interesting.
My prediction is that there'll be more robots than people. Probably sometime next year. I'd say that by the end of next year, I think would be selling humanoid robots to the public.
A new Gartner report this week sheds light on what's coming on the humanoid front potentially. Through 2028, less than 100 companies will progress humanoid robot proofs of concept beyond experimentation, with fewer than 20 companies going live in production for supply chain and manufacturing use cases. My question is this: should we believe humanoids will be the next great investment opportunity? After all, there is an AI component to these bots. Stephanie, what say you?
It's from a personal perspective, it's a little bit scary, I have to say, but it is something that we have been considering in Robinhood strategies, for example, where we haven't necessarily been looking for companies to invest in that have humanoids in their, in their pipeline, but we have been investing in companies that will provide the eyes and the ears for robots, because even if it doesn't end up being a humanoid, I do think this concept of automation replacing humans in some way, shape, or form is not going away. That's going to be a growing concept. And so that's where we've been focusing.
Ines, I don't know why I think this, but I think you'd be an early adopter of one of these humanoids in your house.
I would definitely be an
early
adopter.
I know. See, you work with someone long enough,
maybe
you kind of just,
yard. Maybe
okay.
for the yard, but not.
Not for
yet.
Sure. For everything in the house. Can the humanoid clean? Sure.
And your Costco pizzas. It can make those Costco's pizzas for you, Ines. You're a big fan.
Can they cook for me? Yeah, of course. I'd be a huge early adopter for humanoid robots and also the robotaxis as well. But look, this year and next year and going forward, it is we are starting to see sort of the merging of machinery, which has been around, but also now you're adding on the AI layer, the intelligence layer. And that is what's most exciting when talking about humanoid robots in the future.
All right, so I got it right with Ines. Brooke, I'm going to guess that you're a little skeptical on these humanoids.
Brian, I'm the youngest here, and I'm skeptical. I don't think I'd want one of these in my house.
I knew it.
I think certainly for sure when you think about the future where this is going, Elon Musk is pretty convincing. He was saying that a lot of his friends have elderly parents. This was in the conversation at Davos with Larry Fink. A lot of his friends have elderly parents, and he believes that these humanoid robots will help to take care of an aging population. I thought that was an interesting point. I love interpersonal relationships. I love, talking to people. I love being the one to sort of jump in. And so I will say, I'm not bought yet, but if this is anything like how Disney Channel's The Smart House went, then we're in for something certainly that might be a little scary here. And so I'm a bit skeptical here, Brian.
All right, well, I will leave it on this. I know my mom is a big opening bid watcher each day. Mom, I will say this to you right to camera. I'm going to buy one of these robots early to take care of you at some point because, look, not to be mean, I just don't have the time. Sorry, Mom. It was a moment of catalyst dropping for Tesla CEO Elon Musk during his speech with BlackRock's founder Larry Fink in Davos on Thursday. Here's what I took away from Big Elon, besides that I may not live to be 150 years old. Supervised full self-driving approval in Europe could come within the next month, followed by China. 2 potential wins that support recurring revenue for Tesla. Very important there. Next up, Tesla has started robotaxi rides in Austin, Texas without safety monitors. That also looks to be a win in the foundation for large-scale robotaxi deployment the next 12 to 18 months. And Musk said Tesla may start selling its Optimus humanoid robots to the public by the end of next year. So Elon with some bullish call-outs here, but will the street forget them all when Tesla announces what will be a weak quarter on January 28th? Let's take it to the opening bid roundtable. Ines, over to you first. What do you got?
Look, I mean, the street may be saying now, forget the quarter, just tell us how real is the future? How real are the projections for robotaxi, for Optimus robots? You saw the Tesla stock yesterday jump 4% after Musk said that they basically are now using robotaxis in Austin without the safety monitor, and also the prospects of being able to gain approval in EU and in China. That's huge, and that's what the street may be looking at, is the future.
Yeah, and the quarter is likely to be weak, Brooke. And I also think investors may be forgetting of what we've heard from Ford and General Motors over the past month. Both of these companies announcing really big EV write-downs, which just is the backdrop is such. I mean, the demand is so weak that they have to take those write-downs, and it's not getting any better for Elon. Go ahead, Brooke.
I think what we've seen is certainly this momentum, especially after that September EV tax credit ending. What we saw was a pull forward of these companies, or rather of consumers, to get ahead of that expiration. And now as we made way into the back half of the year, not only is that a headwind that's up against Tesla, but also think about Google's Waymo and the competition that they're facing there when it comes to these robotaxis in particular, certainly edging higher, certainly gaining momentum across the U.S. especially. And so I think not only is there an interest ongoing around EV and the momentum that we once had last year, especially because of that tax credit, and will that maintain the momentum moving forward? I think more investors are focused on the future of Tesla when it comes to these robotaxis in particular, and also humanoid robots, which I know we'll get to in just a bit.
Stephanie, the other side of this coin is that essentially Tesla could report whatever it wants next week. The retail community is still going to love the company, and they're all, of course, still going to love Elon.
Yeah, I've always said, like, whenever you're trying to analyze a stock like Tesla, you look at if you try to look at the normal things like valuation or, PEG ratios, earnings expectations, it's not about that to me. It is about, like, do you believe or do you not believe? Are you in or are you out in terms of the grander vision that Elon has? And, I do think it's fascinating with the robo-taxis and how fast I think he's become a player, or Tesla's become a player in that, because, other companies like a Waymo have been at it for a bit longer in my mind. But I do, that's really what you see. It's the most traded stock on Robinhood, besides Nvidia, and it's something that I think people just you can't look at the fundamentals, you can't look at technical analysis, maybe in the short term, but it's really just like, do you believe in the longer term vision?
On the staying on Tesla, Stephanie, I think Larry Fink brought this up yesterday when he was talking to Elon. I mean, Tesla, if you zoom out of the day-to-day volatility, it has been a good long-term investment.
It has. I mean, it's been up, especially even like over the last few months. And it's something that I think as I said, you have to decide whether you're in and you're out. And even if you're looking at the more recent coming up, like earnings that they have on the 28th, the expectations are already for them to have negative earnings, right? But then expectations are to have a really strong year in 2026 with 30% growth year over year from a very low base. So I think a lot of that is already in the stock, and it's just sort of like, how real is the humanoid thing actually starting to be sold in 2027? How real can the growth actually be for the robo-taxis? How fast can all of this stuff become a larger piece of the pie relative to just being a car company? Because comparing them to a car company, to me, is also not necessarily the thing to do.